What up, yo? Frank 5D for Dedicated Etiquette, right here on the rap scene. 2023 is here and the culture's looking forward to moving out of this street gang phase that's taken over the content. From rappers denouncing gangs to the resurgence of the Stop the Violence movement, we're seeing a sunrise on a new day in hip-hop, but that sun is shining a light on a lot of work that still needs to be done. There are many issues that we can confront and no doubt a few stand out more than others, and with all that has gone on in the last few years, it's abundantly clear that hip-hop still does not respect mental health. Look at Kid Cudi, for example. Ever since he became the de facto spokesperson for mental health, he's been ostracized, labeled corny, booed off stage, and disrespected by many who were once fans and peers in the industry. In 2016, he revealed that he checked into a rehab facility and got shitted on by literally the biggest rapper in the game in Drake, as well as one of the most revered artists in Lupe Fiasco, among many others. Personal beefs aside, you kinda just shut up if someone you don't get along with talks about suicide, no? He recently revealed that he had a stroke while he was in the facility, then went on stage and had bottles thrown at him before walking off. He's always stated that he wanted people to feel vulnerable through his music, and we used to do that, right? Maybe Drake's taking up all the emotional availability in his music. The reasons for all the mental health diagnoses are nuanced to say the least. The pandemic did a number on everyone to varying degrees, and nobody knows how the world's gonna look in the next few years. It seems like the culture's trying to keep everything together, but it's falling apart as it builds. All the rappers dying to gun violence is putting people on edge every second of every day, and the music isn't making anything much better with all the spinning and getbacks. Combine that with being broke or poor, and it's enough to drive a sane man crazy, or at least trigger some anxiety or depression. Whatever the factors are, hip-hop needs to stop dismissing the fact that it's a real problem, even if it's something that you as an individual will never experience. Mental health issues many times, especially in this culture, lead to drug use and abuse that only makes things worse. Kid Cudi was known for being on his drug shit as he began to open up about his mentals. Hip-hop always embraces the use of drugs of all kind until we hear about DMX and Mac Miller and Juice WRLD and ASAP Yams, all who spoke openly about depression and mental health while being celebrated for destroying themselves through drug use. We've definitely stopped looking after the people that we follow and resorted to watching them spiral in real time, then post a rest in peace after we hear the worst. All the rappers that we've lost to overdose were either clowned or ignored when they advocated or at least brought attention to their struggles with mental health. Their issues and addictions are not our fault or our problem, but they should also not be our entertainment. Look at the Ye situation. The artist formerly known as Kanye West has probably been the most outspoken rapper regarding his mental health in the past few years, and instead of making that an issue, the culture kept wondering what was up with him and Drake or him and his wife. There's definitely a conversation whether he's exploiting his diagnosis to create content. I think so maybe back in the day, but his recent tirades seem to be born from a place that's not all there. It's kind of ironic that he's the same person that changed the game, inspiring a whole generation of artists to become more emotional and confront their mental health issues with their seminal 808s and heartbreaks. While that took hold in the music, it continued to be stigmatized in the culture overall. These days he finds deeper ends to jump off by the hour, and we just stand by and eat it up. I realize you need to be able to receive help, and Ye may not be there just yet, but that doesn't give reason to grab the popcorn and watch the fire burn. 50 Cent stated that he thinks depression is a luxury because where he comes from, you can't afford to be depressed. He didn't say it doesn't exist. He just said it's something he can't let into his life because he's too busy getting to it. This is sort of masking that the culture does. I'm not saying that if a rapper feels down they have to get all emo, but stop with the I'm on some killer shit or hood rat shit every time you get hurt. And that goes for the fans too. Just acknowledge how you actually feel, build towards getting better even if that means getting professional help, and stop glorifying the behavior of mentally ill people. On the same side of the coin, don't be afraid to be a positive influence on someone that you know is going through some things. It doesn't take much to brighten someone's day, and you never know when or how they may need it. Just like the response to Logic's 1-800-273-8255, influencers and personalities who champion mental wellness like media mogul Charlemagne also face the same outcasting. It's a shame that whoever speaks about it gets put in that box when it's really something we should all be at least a little bit sensitive to. We constantly give gangster passes to artists for getting into legal trouble when in reality they're mentally and socially deficient. Some worked hard for their spots, some fell into it, but they all have something to lose and constantly constantly get into these situations that cost them their freedom and sometimes their lives. Mental health has been a talking point on the world stage for more than a few years, and it's about time that hip-hop starts respecting the impact that it has on the culture. So many of our past and future champions go through all kind of things in their brains, and it influences the fans to the point of glamorization and taking prescription medication for recreational uses. Those who disrespect are obviously in a better space. No, Podfather Joe Budden just recanted his whole narrative regarding the situation with Megan Thee Stallion and Tory Lanez, stating that he could have and should have respected her mental health during the whole trial. I believe hip-hop needs to do that as a whole and stop marginalizing our artists who are dealing with these issues. We all feel down every now and then and could use some encouragement. Let's extend the same cordiality to our brothers and sisters in the culture and move forward this thing that we love. It's crazy to think that we can just ignore this and things will get better. Let's start realizing the signs and stop dissing people who are silently crying out for help and show some empathy. It's been 50 years of this thing of ours, and it's about time we start taking better care of us. No matter what we're going through, we can get through it, and it may just take a little bit of support to get there. Hip-hop owes it to itself to start taking this seriously. Let's do better, y'all. It's time to keep moving in a more positive direction in 2023, so we gonna keep the dope shit on hip. Fucks with the IG, the TikTok, the Twitter, the Facebook, cause we out here in these streets. Shout out to you and thanks for watching, yo. I'm Frank 5D for Dedicated Etiquette here on the rap scene. Positive energy activates constant elevation.